Back with another one, baby. We here, Ethiopia, all right? And if you watched my last video, you know I was here for New Year's Day, okay? And when you see this artwork above my head, just know that I'm still in Ethiopia, all right? So the purpose of this video is to kind of explain to you all what happened on New Year's Eve and what I've learned about the Ethiopian tradition of New Year's Eve. All right, a lot of people do not know the bloody tradition here in Ethiopia when it comes to New Year's celebration. Okay, so first things first, I want to say I was actually really sick this week. I had a bad stomach virus. I was congested. I could not stop blowing my nose. It was just all bad. So I had to really try my best to get out and get some footage for you all. But the most important thing is I learned a lot about their tradition based on what I saw on New Year's Eve. All right. And to start this off, I'm going to tell you right now, the sheep here, I feel bad, man. I actually felt sad for the sheep because what they do here is they slaughter sheep every New Year's. All right, so me and my driver, we were driving around the city. We were looking for something to eat. And as we were driving, I'm like, man, it's so many sheep all over the place. Why are there so many sheep getting whipped, getting snatched up, put in the car? I'm just like, what's going on? So my driver's telling me the history of the slaughtering of sheep and how they do this culturally and traditionally here in Addis and just all throughout Ethiopia to bring in the new year. It's supposed to represent prosperity and new beginnings. Now, typically the slaughtering takes place right at midnight of New Year's Day, so early in the morning on New Year's Day, and they cook it. My driver says it takes them about 10 minutes to cook the sheep or the goat or the cow, and then they give it as a meal to start off the new year. All right, just one big festive meal. And it's crazy hearing this as an American. We don't do anything like this for our New Year's celebration. So to experience it, see it for myself with my own eyes, see all of the sheep, the goats, the cows, it's kind of surreal to me, to be honest with you, because I didn't expect this before I got here. Right? And typically the person who does the slaughtering is the head of the household, right? So my driver, right, he is really technically supposed to be the one to do the slaughtering, but he was like, we just pay somebody to do it, you know, I guess because they got money like that. So they just pay somebody to just cut the head, and then they cook it, and then they serve it as a feast for the family. And look, y'all know me, I'm too scared for that. You know I'd be the head of my household, but I'm not gonna be the one cutting the head. All right, we ain't doing that. I just pay somebody else. He can go in and cut it. All right, he can go in and cut it, cook it up. Let me know when it's ready. Another element of the Ethiopian New Year I wanted to mention is the flower Abeba. It's a yellow flower that you'll see all over Addis if you're here around the New Year time. And this flower represents hope. All right, it basically represents new beginnings, new cycles, and they bloom every year around this time here in Ethiopia. All right, so I've seen girls wear the Abeba in their hair. I've seen it in people's cars. You'll see people selling them on the street, on stores. It's yellow all over the place. All right, so that's just another fun fact and another truth about Ethiopian New Year. So because I was sick, I didn't really do too much on New Year's Eve, but I still wanted to bring you all a video because I feel like it's my duty to share my experience with the world here in Ethiopia. All right, so the first thing that I did on New Year's Eve was I went to go get some breakfast food. Okay, I went to a place called Delmela, and they have the perfect American breakfast. Pancakes, waffles, eggs, you name it. As you can see, the food was delicious. The spot is nice, a very good ambiance. And yeah, if you want some good brunch and you're in Addis Ababa, you have to visit Delmela, man. It's definitely worth it. It's affordable. They got some great orange juice, and it's a great spot for you to come and maybe do some work or, you know, do some studying or something. So shout out Delmela. This was what I ate here on New Year's Eve in the daytime. So after Delmela, I started to get a little sleepy because it was really gloomy outside. outside. And as I mentioned in my first video, the weather here has been nothing but cold and rainy. And then on top of that, I was sick. Okay, so at this point, I just want to go back to the room and take a nap. All right, so as I'm going back to the room, I'm seeing all the sheep all over the place, even more sheep than I saw before. And it's just like, oh my gosh, they look so sad. The sheep know what's about to happen. They know what's about to happen. And here's a fun fact. My driver told me that the older sheep, they let them go because that's not considered good meat. Nobody wants to eat the old sheep. Now the goat, all right, the goat on the other hand is more of a higher quality meat than the sheep. All right, so the goat are a little bit more expensive. The cow obviously is the biggest, right? So if you have a huge family, I think that's when they get the cow, according to my driver. And he had a cow, okay? So yeah, that was a lot for me to digest as an American, and also just being sick on New Year's Eve and just having to see the sheep all over the place. And I actually saw one head already chopped off. They were early. They did it before midnight. You know, they was ready. But yeah, y'all, so what I decided to do was to go back to the room to try to take a nap, right? I was in a deep, deep sleep for a couple of hours, man. I was so tired, sick. As you can hear, I was snoring up a storm up in there. And I normally don't really snore like that, okay? But yeah, I was snoring and I was very tired. So after I finally wake up, it's about 9 p.m. and I still have no idea what I'm doing for New Year's Eve here in Addis. And then on top of that, like I said, I'm not feeling good at all. My stomach is even more worse at this point, and I'm still very much so congested. But I'm like, I still have to get out and celebrate this New Year's Eve in some way here in Ethiopia, because what's the chances of me ever coming back here to celebrate the new year again here in the country of Ethiopia? I gotta do something, right? So at this point, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I start reaching out to different people. A couple of people reached out to me around like 10. It's very last minute, but that's fine. You know, it's better than not doing anything. So what I decided to do was first go to Skylight, which is a hotel here, a very famous hotel, by the way, and there's like a restaurant and bar there. So decided to go there, maybe get a couple of drinks. And while I'm at Skylight, I get invited to Eclipse, which is one of the best clubs here in Addis, if you ask me. So shout out to Salam. That's the girl in the thumbnail. And Salam is super dope. Great person to know out here. I met Salam actually through one of my friends back in America who works with an Ethiopian who then found out that I was here, and so she connected me with Salam, and so Salam has been nothing but very hospitable to me, has been showing me around. And now remember what I told you all, here in Addis is really about who you know in your social group. That's very critical in enhancing your experience here. I feel like if you're in the know and you have plugs here, that makes it better for you when you're out and about. So shout out Salam for showing me around and showing me the club Eclipse. And as you can see, here's a little footage of me doing hookah. The hookah here, here's a fun fact. The hookah, which they call Shisha here in Ethiopia, is way better than in the United States. I'm not really a huge hookah person like that, but the hookah here is very smooth. Right? It just feels good to do Shisha. I feel like I should be doing Shisha while I'm here in Addis. All right, and not to mention it's not expensive at all. It's very much so cheaper here than it is back in the United States. Now, Eclipse is a dope club. If you like hip hop music and R&B, this is a great spot to visit. They actually play a mix of both Ethiopian and American music. They go back and forth, but they do it in a way to where it feels good. Even the Ethiopian music that they were playing, I was still in there vibing to. You know, Ethiopians, they be doing the shoulders. Look, Ethiopians do the shoulders, right? If you Ethiopian, comment about the shoulders. But yeah, but I had a great time at Eclipse despite not feeling well. I still was able to have a good time and meet people. The people in the thumbnail, super cool. You see Salam on the left, and then you see my guy on the right who's actually from Dubai, right? He's Ethiopian, but he lives in Dubai. He got us free shots. I didn't get any footage of that, which I regret. I should have. But like I said, we had a good time in the moment. Now, recording in Ethiopia is very tough, y'all. It's not easy at all. So I'm giving you these documentary style videos because I feel like it's my best way of showing my experience here with the little bit of footage that I can get. It's tough being inside of these nightclubs because they don't allow the cameras for nothing. I've been stopped so many times. I'm so discouraged. If you've been following me up until this point, y'all know the type of videos I do, the type of vlogs, the type of nightlife videos. So these might be a little bit different. I'm still gonna try though to give you a original vintage Sid the Dine vlog if I can. But in the meantime, you know, we kind of just gonna meet right here where you see the artwork above my head, baby. All right, we just gonna meet, and then, you know, we just gonna take it from there. All right, and that was pretty much my New Year's Eve, y'all. Like I said, I wasn't feeling well. I was sick. I was really sick. And if you're wondering, at midnight, nothing happened. There wasn't no fireworks. I didn't see any fireworks. All right, there wasn't no countdown. It was just, the music just kept on playing like it was nothing. So I didn't experience a big difference. At midnight, there was nothing that indicated that it was a new year. We are in 2018 here in Ethiopia, and I appreciate you all for watching this video. I wanted to give you all something, but like I said, I was not feeling well at all, and I had to fight it just to get the little bit of footage that I did get. And the most important part of this video was to give you all some history about the New Year's celebration here in Ethiopia and why they kill the sheep, the cow, and the goat every year at midnight to bring in new beginnings and prosperity in their families, all right, here in Ethiopia. So that's the tradition when it comes to New Year's. It's a very bloody tradition, if you will, but that's what they do here. All right, it is what it is. I'm just a visitor, baby, and I'm glad and thankful that I was able to experience a New Year's Eve despite being sick. All right, so as always, y'all, stay tapped in for the next video because you know I'm gonna come at you with some more content in any way I can. I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve and a couple of ideas that I do want to try. Right? So we'll see how it works out. It's tricky in Ethiopia when it comes to filming, like I said. But I'm going to do my best to bring you all some content and really just to share my experience in this unique country. I think Ethiopia is very, very unique compared to any other place that I've been. So I do want to continue to share my experience with you all. All right? So as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Smash the subscribe button, smash that like button, all right? And make sure you comment, man. Make sure you comment. I want to know what you think. What do you think about the Ethiopian tradition of slaughtering the sheep? Were you familiar with it? If you're Ethiopian, tell me how your meal was. Is it good? Was it delicious? Right? Did you have the cow, the goat, or did you have the sheep? Right? Did you get an old sheep because all the other sheep were taken? Explain your experience to me. All right? I appreciate y'all, man. To the next video.